This girl I'm going to call April emailed me and she said, I dated someone that I'm pretty sure was not all human. Now, I can appreciate a masculine man, someone with very masculine tendencies, but this goes beyond that. And there's certain parts of the story that I just don't even know what to make of. So I'm going to tell you what she said and you can decide. April's at a bar one night with her friends. They're having a good time and they start talking to this group of guys. And in the group of guys, there's this guy named Nick. Nick's pretty quiet, but he's very intelligent. And him and April end up hitting it off. The first thing she noticed about him besides his intelligence was how hairy he was. She said it wasn't necessarily like a turnoff, but she was just surprised. Like hair spilling out over his shirt, and he had short facial hair, but he also had long black hair. Even though Nick was quiet, he very much gave alpha male energy. Like every time he spoke, the whole group turned to listen to what he had to say. He was kind of crass, but he was very sweet to April and she liked him. So when he reveals that he lives on the poorer side of town, it's not necessarily a turnoff. She's like, oh, where do you live over there? And he's like, I actually live pretty deep in the woods. It's by a lake. He's like, I really like spending time in nature. She's like, love that for you. And they start dating. The first night she spends the night at his house, though, she realizes that he was not exaggerating. Like, he lives way out in the sticks. She said going out there, she had to turn off the main road onto a dirt road and then park her car on the side of the road. And then Nick came and got her on his four-wheeler. He then drives her on the four-wheeler to his house, which is basically a shed in the middle of the woods. And even the bathroom was disconnected. It was a smaller shed with just a toilet and a sink. And the first time they hook up, she's like fireworks, like very raw, very primal. She was way into it. She said in her email, and I quote, real good. Even the way that he cuddled with her was very like animalistic. Like he would nuzzle his head into her chest. He would rub all up against her. And she said, honestly, their physical connection was probably the reason they lasted as long as they did. Nick had some strange habits or tendencies that April just wasn't used to. For example, he followed a strictly carnivore diet. He said he just didn't like vegetables and fruit. And his bed was actually the top bunk of a bunk bed. He said he just didn't like sleeping close to the ground.